Hi, I'm Latrina Patrick with Vision University. That is my online platform designed to help you become the best version of yourself. And we use a mind, body, and spirit approach. This week, we are continuing our journey through the alphabet as we talk about the ABCs of grant writing. And today, we have landed on the letter K. And the K really is about the importance of being knowledgeable. That makes sense, right? You want to be knowledgeable when it comes to grant writing. And areas I want you to really think about when we're talking about being knowledgeable, there are three important areas where this is important. You want to be knowledgeable about the area of focus. So whatever it is that you're specializing in or the service that you're trying to provide, obviously you want to be knowledgeable in that area. So if you are doing after school programming or talking about teen pregnancy or substance abuse prevention, then as the grant writer, you don't have to be an expert, but you do need to have some knowledge. And I'm going to talk about that. You want to be knowledgeable about your community, and you want to be knowledgeable as an organization. So the organization itself and the staff. So let's take a little closer look into these different areas. So when we're talking about the areas of focus, there needs to be a familiarity with the program focus. So as I said, whether that's teen pregnancy prevention, substance abuse prevention, mental health treatment, whatever it is. So you don't need to be an expert. Obviously, you can't be an expert in everything, but it helps to have some familiarity with the subject. So for example, I have a really vast background with substance abuse prevention, substance abuse treatment, mental health, developmental disabilities, things like that. So I tend to lean towards taking projects around those areas because they're familiar to me. And even if it's an area that I don't really know a lot about, if it's in that general focus, then I know how to find the information that I need. And I also have experience with programming. So if I'm having to speak to or to do research for the client that I'm working with around the appropriate approach to use when addressing those issues, then I know where to go. So I have some familiarity that makes me useful in a consultant role to put together a grant around that area. So think of it in that standpoint. So not only does the organization need to have some knowledge of the area, it helps if the grant writer has some familiarity with the area as well. So you need to understand that the program and what it requires in order to be able to help implement it successfully, or at least to ensure that the organization is able to implement it successfully. So that's what we're talking about in the area of focus. Now, when it comes to the community, it's important to understand that the community you're serving, you need to be very aware of the different nuances of that community, the different cultural aspects of that community, because every community is different. And so you need to have an awareness of that, because just because this approach that you're choosing has worked in another area, it may or may not work in your specific community if you don't understand what makes that community unique or different. And so you also need to have the community buy-in. It's very difficult to have a successful implementation if the community has not bought in to not only the organization, but also what the organization is proposing to do. That's why it's so critical to do work on the front end before any type of implementation of a program, to make sure that you're in line and aligned with the needs and the desires of the community and the target population that you're serving. And a lot of times you can get that information through town hall meetings, community focus groups, surveys, interviews, just a lot of different ways to do that, to make sure that you're really in touch and really on the same level as the community, and have that knowledge about who they are, what they care about, and what their needs are. That's going to help you to be a lot more successful on the back end. And then, of course, the organization itself. I'm speaking more to knowledge because the organization needs to have that credibility. You have to have the credibility of the community. They need to understand that you're credible and that you are capable of doing what you're asking, that you have their best interest at heart, and that you are vested in that community. And then you also need to have the credibility from the funder or the donor, because they need to know too that your organization is legit and that they can trust you to do what it is that you're saying you're doing. And so you have to be able to demonstrate an expertise in the field and experience serving the specific audience. Like if you have been doing this and your organization is the dominant provider of a particular service, that works in your favor. If not, you have to be able to demonstrate why they need to invest in you as opposed to just letting the other organization continue to do that. And you need to be able to demonstrate that you've been around in that community, that the community trusts you, and that comes from longevity. That's one way that, to build credibility. So you can't really have that out the gate if you're brand new and you're brand new doing a specific service. That can work to a disadvantage. So you need to be knowledgeable in the sense of having that expertise that people believe in. And then finally, you need to have knowledgeable staff with relevant experience. It's one thing to have a successful organization, but the people that are going to be responsible for the implementation in a specific program, you need to make sure that the individuals involved in that specific program have the specific experience, relevant experience, to be able to provide those services. So not only do they have the right educational background, but have they worked with this type of community before? Have they worked with a rural population before? Have they worked with a primarily Hispanic community before? Like, these are the things that you have to consider when it comes to demonstrating the knowledge of your organization. So these are just the 3 areas that I want you to think about: the areas of focus, the community, and also the organization and its staff. Now, if you like these tips and you want more grant writing tips, make sure you subscribe to my email updates on my website at visionuniversity.com, and you will get weekly updates from me with more tips, more inspiring content in other areas. And also, if you subscribe, you will get a free ebook. Right now, it's just kind of like a promotion going on for people who sign up. They get a free ebook about how to, do well as a beginning grant writer. So there's a little ebook around that subject area. And then also, we are launching Grant University on April 25th. It's going to be the launch of a 4-week course that's designed to help beginners become successful, effective grant writers. So it's going to be a really great session, and you'll hear more about that coming up. And the registration for that begins on Monday, March 21st. So get your seat while you can. And then, of course, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get more videos. If you want more free content, it's on my website. So I hope that you will stay plugged in and stay, abreast of what's going on and stay connected. In the meantime, I want you to remember to create the vision for the life that you desire and you deserve, because you are the only one who can.